So first of all, go to Node.js.org. You'll notice I'm working in Windows, and most of the tutorials out there will be assuming that you're using a Mac, so you should be able to find those quite easily. But if you're using Windows, this might be useful to you. Number of hurdles I had, which you could probably avoid. Okay, so once it's installed, it's a very small installation. It's only about 6-7 megs. Run that. Accept the terms. I prefer to install on my F drive. Just accepted all the defaults. That's a security tool you won't have, so you won't see that. So I'm predominantly interested in using Node as a web server. So it's finish. And okay, once that's done, you'll notice Node.js appears there, but also they give you this command prompt. And if we go to F drive, which is where I've installed, if we have a look in this directory, there's something called npm. npm is a package manager that comes with Node, so just do a quick Google on that. npmjs.com. What it is a package manager that people just like to use with Node and various other tools, but and what we'll need later is something called Express. So npm allows you to install all these different pieces of software easily, and when you install Node, just like we did now, it comes with npm pre-installed. So if you looked in this directory, you can see there's npm there, but more importantly, inside Node modules, you can actually see what we've got installed. So only npm is installed, and because I know we need to use Express later, I'm going to install that as well. So let's go back down to directory with npm, and the syntax is npm install Express, and this will just go to the online repository and grab the Express package and install that for us. That's done. So this kind of model is very similar to Docker or Vagrant, where you just type in what you want and it goes online and installs it. So Express is installed. You'll have to trust me on that, because I've done this a few times now just to practice for this little video. Okay, so the next thing we need is something called WebStorm. Now you could just use Vim or Sublime or something else like that, but I'm going to go with the 30-day trial here. I don't work for WebStorm, but I just found that having to play with different IDEs, this one seems to be easiest to keep. And the download's pretty big. It's about 100. Well, it's relatively big compared to Node. Right, so back here now. WebStorm's downloaded, so just going to try and install it. Okay, and I will install into my F drive again. You'd have to do that. Let's close this. Okay, and let's run it. And I have installed this before, but I've tried to wipe everything, so I'll just say that I will not import any settings. Okay, and I'm going to go for the 30-day trial. Accept the license agreement. And then you can just accept this. This just allows you to change the style, and we'll create a new project. So this is the bit I was particularly interested in. So if you go to F drive, well, I'm going to store my projects in this location. It's just so let's just accept that. WebStorm. Okay, so once we set that, all future projects will by default be stored in there. So let's call our first project node test, and you've got to select the project type. In this case, it's Node.js and Express app. So this is a Node.js application which is using the Express framework. So let's have a look here. You remember we installed the Express framework using npm, so that will be available to us if I just OK this. And it detects also whether or not we've installed the Node.js framework and what version that is. And another thing we're using is a templating engine called Jade. That's just part of this default project, and you see if it's also detected where the node.exe is, and also where the command for npm is as well. Now, the first time I installed this, it didn't have this information, so it could have saved this from in the registry. I'm not really sure, but you may have to set these manually. What I mean is you have to go there and kind of browse for where the node.exe is, and it'll be wherever you installed it. Anyway, in my case, it's been set automatically. So if I OK that, it'll start to create the project. There is this warning about Windows 7, I'm running on Windows 7. It's not really affecting me so far, so I've been ignoring that. And also it asks you where the Node.js source is. Just accept the default. That seemed to work for me. And let's full page that. Okay, and it's created the project for us here. Now, to run this project, the first thing you'll notice is that the regular run is not actually highlighted for some reason. I'm sure there's a good reason for that, but I've not found out what that is yet. What I found though is that if you right click, you can actually run the project here once, and it works. And then after you've run it once, the run becomes available again, so you can go here next time. But anyway, the project's running now. So you saw some options there. You could either run it in normal mode or debug mode, like most IDEs if you're familiar with the languages. And this project actually runs on port 3000. The way you know that is by looking at this file, so www. And if you go down here, so there's a port number that's been set here, so there's port 3000, and because we're not running in debug mode, you can't see any text in the console. But anyway, if you go to localhost, port 3000, and that's being served from your Node.js web server. So there you go, that's your Node.js running. And just to prove that, let's walk through a bit of the code I kind of know, I guess. I'm still learning the syntax and the framework, so I can show you what I have seen. So this is the Node modules folder, which seems to have code for the modules that this project uses. So what this project actually uses is described in this package.json file, which you'll find with most Node projects. So you can see the dependencies here. So remember I said that we were using the Express framework, so that's there. There's this other thing called Jade, which is being used in this default program, which is the templating applications. So it's templating engine, I think they call it. So let's have a look at this. Jade templating. So if you go to jade-lang.com, their page just shows you, this is a Jade template, and if you use this templating engine with Node, you can use this syntax and it'll produce this type of file. So anyway, if we come back over here, if you go to this views directory, you can see that there are 3 Jade templates, I'm assuming. So you'll have to take everything I say with a pinch of salt. This is just to get you up and running. I think as we go on with the tutorials, I'll know more and more. But anyway, if you see this with the index file here, you can see this template corresponds with the local host. It's 3000. Sorry. Yeah, the page that's been served. So it says Welcome Express. So you can see the title here. So actually, let's go back a bit. What I also know is that if I hit the web server and it's going to give me an index file, the Express framework will say, because of this file, it will say that if there's a get that comes in and it's going to the root directory, it will then use the Jade framework to render out the index template, and it will put the title field. I'm probably using wrong terminology here, but this field, this title field, will say Express. So if we go back to our index template, you can see that title will be replaced by whatever's in here, which is Express. So it'll say Welcome to Express, which is what we see here, Welcome to Express, and there's a H1 there for the heading for the title. So if we say not welcome and we save that, save all. I don't think this is going to refresh. Oh, okay, so that's quite interesting. Changing the template automatically. Well, that's dynamically fetched, so that's good. So you can also see every time you do a get down here. Oh, let's get that. You can see the requests coming in. So 200 there. 304, 304, and if I change it to the JSON field here, so I say change the template, so it says instead of welcome to, if I say welcome to this tutorial, save that. Okay, so that didn't update. So it looks like if you update the templates, that's automatic. But if you update this JavaScript, then you need to reload. So just to make absolutely sure. Right, so let's just stop that. Start again. Reload. Okay, so this changed to this tutorial now, because title's used here and there. Now, if you want to run this in debug mode, so let's just stop it. You can, all you have to do is right click and debug here, and you can see this debug text comes up. Now I know that's debug text because I came in here earlier and there is this line here which says if it's in debug mode, then print this out to the console. Okay, so that's it for now. I want to keep these as short as possible, and not sure what the next tutorial will be about, but probably getting this thing onto GitHub. See how I feel. But anyway, subscribe if you're interested. I'm not making any promises, but I will be updating and providing videos as I go along. Cheers, bye.